super important, I made sure that the wings were actually connected and screwed in, because if they go like this, there's a chance they're going to hit each other, and it's definitely not going to fly right. Quick check just to make sure that the gimbal can move around. There's nothing stuck in the motors there. Do you guys know what a gimbal is? Yeah, it's a series of motors that basically let it go in all directions. So that's how it turns left and right. But it's also used to stabilize it, because otherwise these things bounce around a lot. And about 15 years ago, if you just strapped a camera to the bottom of an RC plane without any kind of springs or anything, you get a lot of jiggle in the video. It's not fun to watch. I don't know how many drone videos you guys watch, but smooth is good. As the saying goes, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So, today we have here, this is an M210 RTK unit. RTK stands for real-time kinematic. That's what this extra little antenna is over here.
Stuart, yeah, I haven't had a chance to.
This right now is communicating up to about 40 different satellites, about 12 different constellations or patterns. And what that does is it takes the accuracy of the GPS and it shrinks it down to about a centimeter, or give or take half an inch. So that when I'm flying, the drone knows its position accurately to within a half an inch. Normally, the natural error on GPS positioning is about 5 meters or 15 feet. So when you're using your phone for positioning, it knows where you are within about 15 feet, which is good enough to give you directions to Walmart or something. But if you're flying pretty darn close to objects, you really want to have the drone know its position. And if they're flying autonomously, so if there's actually an algorithm or something flying the drone, you want that accuracy to be tight. So,
Never. What about cost and batteries and plane time?
yeah. So this particular one, the drone itself is around $20,000. The cameras run about 5 to 10 grand a piece. The setup it has right now with the two batteries, the batteries are a couple of $100. The nice thing is you can buy a whole bunch of batteries. You get about, depending on the wind and the conditions, somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes of flight time per a set of two batteries. So this actually uses two at once. Not all drones have to have that much, but this eats up a lot of power. So, it does. So these are the batteries. I'm going to go ahead and pass these around. You guys can take a look at them. Don't smash them or anything. If they start to swell up in your hands, give them to me immediately, because they're not bursting flames. They're not going to do that, but just in case. So these are actually small batteries. These are the ones that the FAA allows me to fly on a commercial aircraft with. I have larger batteries that give me about 5 to 10 minutes more flight time, but because of that whole lithium-ion batteries, when not handled properly, can spontaneously set on fire. It's a fun chemical reaction. Larger batteries aren't allowed to fly in the planes. They're also not allowed to fly under the planes where it's not pressurized. So if you guys do become drone pilots, every time you fly, TSA will stop you. They're very nice people. Usually what I do is just show them right up front. Here's a box with a drone in it. Here's a box with batteries. They scan it, they swab it, and then you're on your way. But without fail, I've stopped my TSA every time. All right. Who wants to see a drone fly? So. Who knows what this is called?
A controller.
All right. Who knows its other name? Radio control? Well, close enough. It's also known as the ground control station. In this case, it's the remote. Sometimes on larger ones, there'll be a laptop there as well. So this little device here, as I turn it on, it comes with its own little built-in monitor. You can actually, yes, what? Yes, it is. Yeah, real drone. It's not a demo. And while this is connecting, who knows what I didn't do?
Turn the drone on.
Yep.
Yeah, you might want to turn it on.
So, there are a couple of safety features that are built into these. So one of them is turning the batteries on is a process. If any of you have watched me, you've seen that it's not a one-touch thing. You actually have to do a very specific pattern. You have to touch, let go, and touch and hold until it's done turning on. This is to prevent accidental turn on or turn off. But I can't tell you how many times I've seen people struggle with that the first time they're trying to turn the battery on. If you press it once, it's kind of nice. It just tells you how much power there is, but it won't turn on. All right. Here to here. No. If anything, it would be an FAA inspector, but the actual chances of you running into an inspector on any given day is pretty low. Most of the time, they come and they ask afterwards for your records. All right, so let's get this here. Is that camera moving? Quick wave. Good, give it a quick wave. It's filming you.
Mr. Drone Camp.
All right. So as I'm flying, I'm going to come and show you guys this screen so you can see kind of the information that's there. But it does have a bunch of onboard anti-collision sensors. So this is pretty typical. The larger the drone is, the more stuff is there to help you not crash. So this has 2 forward-facing cameras and an FPV camera so that I can always switch to that and always see if I'm flying the drone and somebody else is turning the camera to film something pretty, I can still see where the drone is going. It also has sensors facing down, back, and both sides, and it can tell its distance from objects so that as I'm approaching, it's actually picking up the truck right now that's 3.2 meters away, and it's giving me a little warning, a little visual indicator there saying, hey, there's an object 3.2 meters, 9 feet, everything. Yes, ma'am. Yes. So it has 2 types of systems. There is a sonar system, which is actually exactly like echolocation, and then it also has a computer vision system that's actually looking at the image and determining if you're about to hit something. All right. Let that car take off. Here. Spinning up.
Woo! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Even though it's pretty big, it's got a fair amount of zip to it, so I'm just going to move side to side. Might as well go over some of the stick commands. So, there's a bunch of different ways you can have this set up. The most common is what's known as mode 2, okay? Which means this left stick here. This left stick here, if I push up on it, it will gain altitude. If I gently press down on it, it will lose altitude. Okay? Left and right on this stick control yaw. What's yaw mean? Turning, right? The mechanic words are saying turning left. It's turning right. Am I anywhere close to facing forward? Okay, good. So, here's one of the most interesting / difficult things about flying a drone as opposed to being inside of the aircraft. When you turn a drone, its orientation, the way it's facing, is forward changes, but yours does not. So, if I push forward, which way is it going to go?
That way!
Yeah, right? Technically speaking, I'm not overhead, but yeah, I'm going to back it up. So, the right stick, that controls your lateral movement. So let me get back away from you guys here. So, on that right stick, this moves me is going to play left to right. So if I go left, it's going to go to the drone's left. Which way is that? Everybody point. Which way is the drone going to go? The drone's left. Yeah. Which way did it go? Yeah, right? Why is it going right when I told you I'm pushing left? Right? All right. Yes, ma'am. The crazy thing is, yeah, notice the difference in volume when you're not directly underneath it. Okay, I know. So I just tossed into the sport mode because the question, if you didn't hear, was how fast could it go, and I just couldn't resist. So it can go about 30 meters per second at the top speed. Slightly low. No, but we did have a question. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is I want you to keep your eyes on this, and I want you to tell me when you cannot see it anymore, when you visually cannot distinguish it. Okay, first off, how high off the ground do you think I am right now? 18 feet on the nose, good job. 18, all right? So one of the other things, aside from the orientation changing, which you just have to be aware of, if I turn left, all of a sudden pushing right's going to do something different than I might expect. The easiest way to deal with this, well, the easiest way to deal with this is to never turn left or right, but that's not very practical. The easiest way to deal with it is when you change directions, turn yourself to face the same direction. That way forwards is forwards, back is back, left is left, right is right. Okay? All right, I'm going to go up. Air traffic. I am okay here because Tioga is not classified airspace.
I think that's more than 40 meters.
That's another thing, yes, staring up into the bright light.
I think that's more than 40 meters. I can still see it. I want to see something.
Yeah, I'm about to come down. Sure, yeah.
I can still see it. Is that
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys. 400 feet, yes. Okay, so right there, I've stopped at 400 feet above ground level. So again, the 400 feet is from where I took off. Drifted a little, yeah. So, at 400 feet, the wind effect you get is going to be stronger than on the ground. All right, so right now, we might have a mile-an-hour wind, if that. As we go up there, yeah, it's not moving at all, by the way. What you're seeing is the clouds move behind it, but because you have no frame of reference, it looks like the drone's moving. There are a lot of optical illusions that you have to be aware of. Perception you have to be aware of when flying. I am at 400 feet on the nose. I actually went up to 402 and came back down, but that's okay. So, somebody has a tool.
I didn't even recognize you.
Didn't ya? Look at the drone right up there, 450 feet up.
450 feet?
450 feet.
All right, so I'm gonna go.
Really?
NCC just fed us.
Oh, good.
You missed the best part?
What's that?
You missed the best part?
Well, I did. Oh, that's fine. we just had taco in a bag down there. I saw Chris and
Oh yeah, right on.
I hadn't been there. Here all day. I wasn't sure if we were all day location.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the community.
I'm gonna walk around.
Oh my gosh, yes, you gotta go in there. Amber's in there. You got the find Amber, she'll take you around.
Did you need any help with anything at all?
So this is looking down at us from 400 feet. Can you tell who an individual person is at this height? No, right? So as we talk about privacy
Doesn't seem very
concerns,
high, actually. That doesn't look very high.
as we talk about privacy
jumped 100
concerns,
feet
people
twice,
running over my ear.
That felt like that was there.
Some of the things to remember is oftentimes it's just simply explaining like, yeah, no, I cannot resolve the individual person here. So I can't see your face, I can't read a license plate. However, if I come down, yes, but legally no. Remember that 400 feet is are there, but the drone is absolutely capable. The drone can go about 2 miles up before the air suit in for it to really work.